Welcome to today's episode of Connecticut Paid Leave Spotlight. I am Erin Choquette, the CEO of the Connecticut Paid Leave Authority. Today, we will discuss how Connecticut paid leave benefits can support you during safe leave. This presentation is intended for individuals who have experienced family violence or sexual assault and those individuals who would like to help them. In this presentation, we will go over the safe leave laws and the income replacement benefits you may be eligible for. Specifically, we will review what is safe leave and what legal benefits may be available. We'll discuss which employers are covered, how Connecticut paid leave works, focusing on eligibility and documentation. We'll discuss some other reasons for leave that may be applicable, as well as the ways to take leave and how to apply for Connecticut paid leave. We will finish with a discussion of some additional resources. To begin, let's define our terms. Safe leave is the term used to describe the job-protected leave taken by a person who has experienced sexual assault or family violence. Under the Connecticut Paid Leave Act, such individuals may also be eligible to receive income replacement benefits while they are out of work for those reasons. Connecticut General Statute 46B-38A subsection 1 defines family violence as an incident resulting in physical harm, bodily injury, or assault, or an act of threatened violence that constitutes fear of imminent physical harm, bodily injury, or assault, including but not limited to stalking or a pattern of threatening. Family violence occurs between family or household members, specifically people who are or were living together, dating, or were married, or are related by blood or marriage, including children, parents, and siblings. Although family violence can take the form of sexual assault, there are separate criminal statutes that define sexual assault, and sexual assault is a separate reason to take safe leave. Generally speaking, sexual assault is any unwanted sexual contact, often committed by force, and including rape. There are several state statutes that provide the technical legal definition of sexual assault, which are listed on this slide. You may be eligible to take job-protected leave under the Connecticut Family Violence Leave Act. A worker who is the victim of family violence or sexual assault may take up to 12 days of unpaid job-protected leave in a calendar year for the following reasons: to seek medical or psychological care or counseling for physical or psychological injury or disability, to obtain services from a victim services organization, to relocate due to such family violence or assault, or to participate in any civil or criminal court proceeding related to or resulting from this crime. You may be able to receive income replacement benefits, in other words, money, from the Connecticut Paid Leave Program if you take these unpaid days off under the Connecticut Family Violence Leave Act. An eligible worker who is the victim of family violence or sexual assault may receive up to 12 days of income replacement benefits. A worker who experiences a serious health condition as a result of the family violence or assault may have additional rights to job-protected leave under the Connecticut Family and Medical Leave Act and may have access to a longer duration of Connecticut paid leave benefits. We'll talk about that later in this video. It is important to be aware that these laws apply only to certain categories of employers. Specifically, the Connecticut Family Violence Leave Act applies to employers with 3 or more employees, and it includes the state of Connecticut as well as political subdivisions of the state, such as towns and municipalities and schools. Employers who are not covered under the Connecticut Family Violence Leave Act include the federal government, governments of other states, and other sovereign nations such as the Mashantucket and Mohegan tribes. The Connecticut Paid Leave Act applies to almost all Connecticut employers with 1 or more employees. It also applies to sole proprietors and self-employed individuals who choose to opt into our program. However, there are employers who are not covered under Connecticut Paid Leave Act, including the federal government, municipalities and boards of education, except as to covered public employees, non-public elementary or secondary schools, railroads, governments of other states, and other sovereign nations. The term covered public employee requires some explanation. If a unionized group of employees in a municipality or board of education collectively bargain through their union to participate in Connecticut paid leave, the members of that union, as well as any non-union employees who work for that town or board, will become covered under the Connecticut Paid Leave Act. But employees who are represented by different unions in that town or board will continue not to be covered. In order to be eligible to receive the income replacement benefits from Connecticut paid leave, you must meet the following requirements. First, you must earn at least $2,325 in the highest earning quarter of the first 4 of the 5 most recently completed quarters. This money can be earned from one or more covered Connecticut employers. The chart on the screen shows what we mean by the first 4 of the 5 most recently completed quarters. For example, with a claim that is filed between January and March of 2025, we have to look at earnings from October 2023 through September 2024. In addition to meeting this earning requirement, you must show that you are either currently employed by a covered employer in Connecticut, you are an enrolled sole proprietor or self-employed individual, or you were employed by a covered employer at some point in the 12 weeks immediately before you would like the benefits to begin. Now let's talk about the documentation requirements. Anyone who files a claim for Connecticut paid leave benefits must provide identity verification, an employment verification form that we give you to give to your employer, and documentation that relates to your specific leave reason. For safe leave, we have a safe leave statement, which will be provided to you when you apply. The safe leave statement must be completed and signed by the person requesting the benefits. On that form, you indicate the reason that you will be taking leave. In addition, you can either have an authorized third party sign that same form, an attorney, an employee or agent of a victim services organization, an employee of the Judicial Branch Office of Victim Services, an employee of the Office of Victim Advocate, a licensed medical professional, or other licensed professional that you are working with who will attest that you indeed are a person who has suffered from family violence or sexual assault. In the alternative, you personally can sign the safe leave statement and submit it together with a copy of a relevant police or court record. You should know that if you are requesting safe leave from your employer may ask for similar documentation. Your employer does have the obligation to keep this information confidential. We know this is a very difficult subject and can often be hard to talk about with your employer. However, it's important to make sure that you have that job protection, so you need to request the leave from your employer to get that. It is also a good idea to talk to your employer about your concerns, potentially in case they can provide any safety mechanisms at work to give you added protection. As I mentioned before, an individual may be able to qualify for paid leave benefits for other reasons. Specifically, a person can take leave under Connecticut Family and Medical Leave Act and receive benefits to receive treatment for and recover from their own serious health condition. They may also take leave and receive benefits to provide care and comfort to a family member who is experiencing a serious health condition. An individual who is taking medical leave or caregiver leave may receive up to 12 weeks of income replacement benefits in a 12-month period for these reasons, and they may be able to take 12 weeks of job-protected leave under Connecticut FMLA for these reasons. The definition of serious health condition is the same for both Connecticut paid leave and Connecticut FMLA. It is a illness, injury, or impairment, or a physical or mental condition that involves inpatient care or continuing treatment by a healthcare provider. The full definition can be found on our website at ctpaidleave.org. But examples of a serious health condition include being admitted for an overnight stay in a hospital, having a chronic condition for which you are receiving treatment and see a healthcare provider at least 2 times a year, having a long-term condition for which treatment is no longer effective, but you are still under the supervision of a healthcare provider, such as end-of-life situations. It also includes pregnancy and any incapacity during pregnancy, including prenatal appointments. If you are taking leave under the Connecticut Family Violence Leave Act or the Connecticut Family and Medical Leave Act, and you are receiving income replacement benefits through the Connecticut Paid Leave Program, there are different ways that you can take your leave. Most people think about continuous leave or block leave. This is a one-time continuous absence for a single qualifying reason. There is a start and end date to the leave, and you are not working at all between those 2 dates. But you can also take reduced schedule leave. This is leave that reduces your usual number of working hours per work week or hours per work day for a period of time due to the condition. And then there is intermittent leave. This is leave for a single qualifying reason that is taken in separate, non-consecutive time periods rather than a continuous block of time. Intermittent leave could be taken in weeks, days, or even hours or parts of an hour. For example, if you are taking safe leave to attend a court proceeding, you may need only a couple of hours off that day. That would be intermittent leave. To apply for Connecticut Paid Leave Income Replacement Benefits, we urge you to check out our website at ctpaidleave.org. You can start a claim for benefits directly from our website, or you can call our claim administrator, AFLAC, which has a team dedicated to the Connecticut Paid Leave Program. If you call them by 877-499-8606, you can start a claim by phone. Whether you start your claim online or by phone, we urge you to create an account on our portal to facilitate your claim. It will be easier for you to upload your documents and check the status of your claim online. However, you can also check your status by phone. When you begin your application, by phone or online, you will provide some specific information about who you are and your leave reason, and then you will receive a notice, either by email or regular mail, depending on which you choose, that provides you with the documentation that you need to complete and submit to complete your claim. Again, the Connecticut Paid Leave website at ctpaidleave.org has a lot of information available to help you prepare and submit your application and includes hints on what to expect after you apply. It also includes lots of videos and helpful guidance to make it easier for you. The Connecticut Paid Leave Program is not the only source of assistance for individuals who have experienced family violence or sexual assault or other crimes. We urge you to reach out to the Office of Victim Services within the Connecticut Judicial Branch. On their website, you can find a lot of information about the various programs and benefits available to individuals who are crime victims. You can also reach out to them at 1-800-822-8428 or at ovs@jud.ct.gov. There are many organizations that exist to help individuals who've experienced family violence or sexual violence, including the Connecticut Alliance to End Sexual Violence, the Connecticut Coalition Against Domestic Violence, and the program End Coercive Control. These are very difficult situations, and we hope that no one actually needs them, but we know, unfortunately, the reality is these crimes occur, and the individuals who are experiencing these situations need support. We are here to help you. For more information about our program, please visit our website at ctpaidleave.org.